Hey guys! So obviously from the title of this video, this is going to be my Get Ready With Me Savvy Minerals tutorial. It's going to be pretty lengthy just because I'm talking through it, but I promise you that if you use this stuff and you want to get like the hang of it, it's not going to be as long of a process. I don't wear makeup every day, but when I do wear makeup, I really don't have the time to spend hours and hours on my makeup. I want to say that I am not a beauty YouTuber. I'm not a guru. I have no like training in cosmetology. I just really enjoy doing makeup on myself, but I really do love Savvy Minerals, and I know that I've heard from a lot of my team that they wanted to know like how to apply it. They're not really makeup people, but they're like interested in learning. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can check out more videos that are coming soon. But let's get started. Alright, so the first thing, I've already washed my face, used a toner and moisturizer. So I use the Art skincare system. So I use the gentle cleanser, the refreshing toner, and the light moisturizer. I think good skincare is key to having your makeup apply well. And I am someone that struggled with acne a lot. I still have a lot of scars and some redness and discoloration. So I think that taking care of your skin is a major step and something that you need to start with clean skin and not using a super harsh face wash. And the other thing that I do is I use the Art Renewal Serum. It's a little pricey. I can't remember exactly how much, but I will link it below. And it comes out, it's just a little serum like that, and a little bit goes a long way. And it works as a primer. If you have issues with like fine lines or wrinkles or uneven texture, pores, this helps even them out, and it's great for your skin. So I always start with this after I've like washed my face. I know some people like to do eyes first because it's like a loose powder, but I just can't really work that way. So I start with I do foundation first. So I do warm number 2. So I take that and I use the foundation brush from Young Living and the Savvy Minerals Misting Spray. I think that these are super key in getting a good foundation coverage. If you don't have the brush set, just make sure you get a brush that is shorter and more dense like this. If you use a round fluffy brush, it's just gonna like put it everywhere. It's not really gonna apply where you want it to. And then this helps like kind of turn it into a liquid makeup. So I don't really know why, but it makes it apply a lot better. So what I just do is I tap a little into the lid, and not a lot. I really start off with just like a little amount, and then I apply layers. So I do 2 sprays to the brush. And then I just swirl it in, tap off any excess, and then just start applying. And I don't know what they call it, buffing. So I like circular motion, and you don't have to have like a really like heavy hand. And when you first start doing it, it's not gonna look like anything is happening. At least it didn't for me, and I was just like, this is not ideal. But you just keep adding light layers and spray your brush as needed, and you can build a good coverage. So that's pretty good coverage for the face. I do have a little breakout, so I could go in and just kind of target that area. And if you had like a little concealer brush, you could do that first if you want to get those spots, like if you have a lot of redness. But it's like good for right now. And then obviously I didn't do much under the eyes. I like to take a lighter color. If you are the lightest shade, since I'm warm 2, I'm gonna go with warm 1 under the eyes. But if you or say your warm one or cool one or whatever, you could mix a little bit of the diamond dust to make it a little bit, you know, to brighten it up. But I just do kind of the same concept and then just focus under the eyes. And then I just go forehead, nose, chin for like a highlight contour-y situation. If you need a little extra, because I am a mom who does not get a lot of sleep, I'll go in a little bit with a wet brush. And do under the eyes. I don't like to do too much under there because that's where I think that like it creases and becomes a little too like cakey, I guess it can appear. The under your eyes are like super delicate, so, and this isn't like super heavy-handed either. This is just a light application. And then the next thing, I am not a fan of the bronzers that Young Living has. They're too shimmery for me. I am a very, as you'll see, that I like a lot of like matte looks. So for like a contour-y bronzer, I use dark number 1. And it's the same process in the cap, tap off the excess. And then I start a little higher than like where your thing is. If you don't know, I'm kind of like suck in, so I just do like a little higher. And I do, when you apply something, no matter what it is, like you want to put where you want like the darkest the first. So you don't want to start and like put it here and then go back. You want to start back and go down because that's where the darkest is going to apply. And you always want to like do a light layer and then like build it darker. And then I always do kind of like the corner of my forehead, and then just like lightly the sides of my nose. I don't do like a heavy contour in like the tip of my nose. I don't do like a heavy contour or anything with this. And then the jaw, and then I just pull it down a little bit on my neck to kind of blend it all. So you could definitely just do like warm 2 foundation all over, or whatever your foundation color is, all over and be done. I just do this because it gives like it gives like more dimension to your face. You can watch other tutorials on like all the ins and outs of contouring. I'm not an expert and I just do this normal. It has become part of like my everyday makeup look. You just want to make sure you're not pulling it like too far down into your mouth. So I pretty much stop when I get to like, if I'm looking forward, like the middle of my eye. Like if I'm looking out like where my eye comes, I'm not going to pull it, you know, I'm not going to pull it any further in. And it just like warms up your face and gives it some more dimension. Oh, and that was with this like cheap Amazon brush. It looks like this. I don't know. Because I use this for blush, the Young Living one. I'll use this for blush. And with the blushes, I find them to be very shimmery, which I'm, like I said, I'm not. I'm more of a matte person. So I use Passionate. It is the least shimmery. And I will say the other two, like if you go lighter, it's not going to look like, you know, you're a disco ball or anything like too crazy. It looks very intense, and if you swatch it, it can look very intense, but if you just like lightly do it, it's not gonna be like super scary. So same concept, swirl, tap, and then I just apply a little bit to the apples of my cheeks. And Passionate, I think, intimidates people for like a color because it looks very dark, but I think it's actually like a really pretty color. And I know a lot of people are like, I'm not a blush person, but what I find before I did my makeup, like before I like knew what I was doing, I never wore blush, and it just like adds kind of like a natural glow more, you know, like it makes it look a little bit more natural. So then next what I would do is I use the Diamond Dust as a highlighter. I don't use it all over my face because it is pretty shimmery. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but it is pretty shimmery in my opinion, so I don't like it all over my face. But I take this little, it's like a little fluffy, smaller fluffy brush, and I just take a little bit of it, and then I put it at the top of my cheekbones, and then I kind of like make a C, and it just like adds more to your face. And then a little bit on the edge of my nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and forehead. So it's not like super intense, but if it was like all over my face, it would not look cute. And I find like I don't need a setting powder all over. I don't need setting spray or anything like that. This makeup really holds up well. The first time I really wore it, it was in Virginia, which is very humid if you're not from the East Coast. Super humid, and it was like 100 some degrees, and this makeup held up, and I was super surprised because I'm used to makeup not staying when it's like, and it just melts all over your face and gets super gross. Alright, so to move on to eyes, I'm going to start with the eyebrows. I use the Multitasker. My natural eyebrows are pretty light because my natural hair color is, I am like a dirty blonde. If you have really light eyebrows and this is too intense for you, you could try to mix it with some like foundation or use one of the darker foundations as a eyebrow thing. But what I find that's important is like one of these brushes. This is an e.l.f. eyebrow duo brush, so it has like a spoolie on one side and then the angled. You want like a denser, I'd honestly like an even denser angled brush like this. The shorter and like more dense they are, the more like control you'll have. The fluffier the brush is, the more it's just gonna go wherever. So I just use basically, so like this is what's in the cap. So I use what's in the cap, and I just take that angle and I just get like a little bit on it. I need my mirror for this. So I will brush my brows through, and then I will start where, like I said, you want to start where like the darker part is. You want the darker part, which is going to be more so the end and the tail. I will say I am not a brow expert. There will be 1,016 different ways that you can do your brows, and people say is the right way to do it. This is just the way that I have done it, and I find that it makes the most like natural looking eyebrows. So I know a lot of people like to do just like a line underneath, a line over, and then like a line connecting at the top, but I find that to be very like intense for my eyes, and I do have resting bitch face, so I like the front to be as kind of soft as possible. So I just start kind of in the middle where I'm going to connect it, and just go out. And like I said, you just want to start with like a really light hand, and you can always go back and build coverage and like darken it up. So then I do kind of like the same for the top, and I just grab more product as I need it, but a little does go a long way. And I find you don't need misting spray. If you use it, you could for sure get like a super precise like line, but it might be way too intense unless you have like really dark hair and dark brows anyways. Okay, so then I don't go back and like pick up more product, but I will start underneath and just connect it over. And then instead of doing like a super harsh line and like filling in your whole brow, I just kind of do like light lines like that go in the direction of your hair to kind of give it more of like a natural look. And then back with that spoolie side, I just brush it in the direction. pretty much it. So I'll do the same thing on the other eyebrow. I do have a scar over here. I had a mole removed, so they're never going to be equal, but I always heard the saying that like your eyebrows should be sisters, not twins, and not cousins. So you want them to look relatively the same, but no one's face is perfectly symmetrical, so they're never going to be perfectly symmetrical. So don't stress too hard about it. Alright, so my camera died while I was doing my brows, so they're finished. I didn't realize. But I'm gonna get into eyes next. So I have the two brushes for Savvy, and then I have some other brushes that I normally use. So what I start off with is this, and these are all like really cheap that I got off of Amazon, so they're not great quality, but it's like kind of angled. It's just a fluffy brush. So I use Multitasker, and I just swirl and tap, and then apply in the upper part of the crease. I have smaller, like a little bit of a hooded eye, so I don't like to do it like too far down. So I just do it here, and then I do it here, and then just like blend it out. And it's gonna be pretty dark. And then I take Young Living's eyeshadow brush, and I go in with Spoiled, and I apply to the lid. This is with a dry brush, but if you sprayed it with missing spray, you could get it to be like more of like a metallic-y foiled shadow, which is really pretty. Now I went a little too crazy in the corner of this eye, so I'm going to take Best Kept Secret, which is just like a matte kind of skin tone for me color, and I am going to go just to kind of like blend it a little bit. If I was doing like something more intense or like in depth, like when I did pictures for our family photos, I started with Best Kept Secret, and I did it all over kind of like as an eyeshadow primer, but like for everyday wear I don't. This is just like you want to give some depth to the eye. Use Young Living's blending brush, and you can either do it with clean or with Best Kept Secret, and then just blend those colors together. And then I take a little brush like this. This is an e.l.f. It's called a smudge brush. And I take Wanderlust and hit the brow bone. And the inner corner. And everyday wear I don't do eyeliner. It's not really my thing. But you can easily use Young Living's eyeliner, spray the brush, and slap on some really pretty non-toxic eyeliner. Last thing I do is curl my eyelashes before applying mascara. This is the Lash Perfecting Gel from Perfect. Young Living does not have their mascara out just yet, but I'm excited to try it. I am what I consider a makeup like mascara snob. I have pretty decent lashes in length, but because my hair color is 30 blonde, they're not very dark at all, and they're not thick. So I've tried 100% pure because people like raved about it, but I find it was like not good at all. It like smudged super easily. I just get that on my eye. It's like without fail, I will get mascara on my lid. But I really do like this. So I'm hoping Young Living's mascara, the Savvy mascara, is the bomb. Alright, so that is my look. I have the lip gloss somewhere. I don't usually wear it. I'm not a fan of their lipstick. It's not matte enough for me, of course. I do really like the lip gloss, and I'm not a lip gloss kind of person. I just don't know where it is right now. I am not filming in my room because Quentin is asleep. But yeah, if you have questions or would want to see some more in-depth or other tutorials or anything like that, I'm not a beauty blogger, but I will help you guys out. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.